In the beautiful village of Uzaku, surrounded by lush forests and flowing streams, lived a young and enchanting woman named Ngozika. Her beauty was unmatched, her kindness limitless, and her humility admired by all. Ngozika's smooth, flawless skin glowed under the African sun. Her figure was graceful, and her eyes held a charm that made even the strongest men lose their composure. Despite her beauty and good nature, what truly set Ngozika apart was the love she shared with her husband, Ejiofor. Ejiofor was not only the strongest man in Uzaku, but also the most respected warrior and hunter. His love for Ngozika knew no bounds, and together they had built a marriage filled with laughter, unwavering devotion, and profound joy. Their bond was the envy of many. However, beneath all this happiness, a deep sorrow weighed on Ngozika's heart. For over 6 years of marriage, she had not been able to conceive a child. In Uzaku, motherhood was revered as a woman's highest calling, a sign of favor from the gods. A woman's worth was often measured by the number of children she bore. For Ngozika, this belief had become a nightmare. She longed for a child, someone to love and hold, someone who would silence the taunting voices of the villagers and bring peace to her heart. Yet, no matter how much she prayed, sacrificed, and sought help from the village diviners, her womb remained empty. Rumors began to spread. Whispers turned into loud gossip. At the village stream where women gathered to fetch water, the taunts became unbearable. The women of Uzaku would laugh and chant behind her, "Ngo the barren woman who give Ejiofor a child, barren woman." Ngozika walked home every day with her head held high, pretending their words did not wound her. But in the silence of her home, she would cry bitterly, her heart heavy with sorrow. Ejiofor, ever the devoted husband, would comfort her. "Do not listen to them, my love," he would whisper as he held her close. "You are more than enough for me. Children will come when the gods are ready." However, it was not just the women of Uzaku who tormented her. Mama Ejiofor, her mother-in-law, constantly rained insults upon her. Whenever Ejiofor was away, she would stand in the courtyard, arms akimbo, and shout, "Give me a grandchild, I am growing old. I have been patient enough. If you cannot give my son a child, I will find him another wife." Each time Mama Ejiofor spoke, Ngozika would lower her head in shame, unable to respond. She would weep until her eyes were sore. She had done everything, prayed at every shrine, offered sacrifices to the gods, but her womb remained barren. One fateful day, after another humiliating confrontation with Mama Ejiofor, Ngozika could take no more. Overcome with grief and shame, she fled from the house, running aimlessly into the thick forest. The sun had begun to set, and the trees cast eerie shadows upon the forest floor. After wandering for what felt like hours, she came across a large twisted tree, standing alone in a clearing. The villagers called it Ojuga, the cursed tree. No one ever dared to approach it. Legend spoke of spirits lurking within its branches, and it was said that those who sought the tree's aid never returned the same. But Ngozika lost her despair, no longer feared anything. She knelt before the tree, tears streaming down her face. "Oh Ojuga," she cried, "why have the gods chosen to punish me? I am beautiful, but I do not feel like a woman. My husband loves me, but my womb remains empty. My mother-in-law curses me. The women of Uzaku mock me. I have no peace." For a long time, there was only silence. As she turned to leave, an old woman emerged from the shadows. Her skin was wrinkled like the bark of the tree, her eyes dark as the night sky. "Do you truly seek a child?" the woman asked in a voice as ancient as time. "Yes," Ngozika answered without hesitation. "Are you ready to pay the price?" the woman inquired. "Yes," Ngozika said again. "I will do anything." The woman studied her for a long time before nodding. "Return tomorrow at midday, but tonight do not sleep." Ngozika did as she was told. She stayed awake all night, and the next day, before the sun reached its peak, she returned to the cursed tree. The old woman was waiting. She handed Ngozika a small black seed. "Plant this in your garden," she instructed. "Water it daily. When it bears fruit, your womb shall open." Ngozika obeyed. She planted the seed, nurtured it, and watched as it grew. The plant was unlike anything she had ever seen. Its leaves dark and twisted. The villagers whispered, but Ngozika ignored them. And one day, the plant bore fruit. That very night, she conceived. Uzaku was astonished. The once barren woman was now with child. Ejiofor was overjoyed. Mama Ejiofor softened, praising Ngozika. The women who once mocked her now admired her. In due time, Ngozika gave birth to a daughter, Ada, the most beautiful child in the village. But Ada was no ordinary child. She had gifts beyond comprehension. When the rains fell heavily, Ada would stretch her hand, and the storm would cease. She healed the sick with a touch. The villagers revered her, calling her a child of the gods. But when Ada turned 20, she began to receive visions. The Ojuga tree called to her, whispering that she did not belong in Uzaku but in the spirit world. For 6 months, she resisted. Finally, she told her mother. Ngozika was devastated. "You are my life, Ada. You are the reason I live, and I will not let you go." But one night, the old woman from the forest appeared before them. "The time has come," she said. "Ngozika, you vowed to pay the price. Now your daughter must return home." Tears streamed down Ngozika's face as she clutched Ada, but Ada smiled. "Mama, I will always be with you." The next day, she left with the spirit goddess, disappearing into the sacred forest. Ngozika and Ejiofor were heartbroken. But was Ada truly gone forever? What happened to Ngozika and Ejiofor after Ada left? Would you have let Ada go if you were in Ngozika's place? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my African Folktales TV for more African stories. 50 comments and we will drop part 2 of what happened to Ngozika and Ejiofor after Ada left the spirit world.